Lisa, I want to throw this your way because
Yeah.
I know that you can answer as much as you can ask the questions, but something that you pointed out in the last one was that Alex Morgan looked a little bit lost. She wasn't making the connections. And I think that in this game, again, that might be something that needs to be talked about. I want your take.
Is that part of the hesitancy, maybe, like with Smith out wide?
That's what I think. I think Smith is more comfortable in the 9, and she just has a bit more familiarity and I don't want to say understanding of how to play that position because she's smart and she can play anywhere clearly. But I think she's more confident when she plays the 9 and she understands more what the players around her are doing and their role, which allows her to fit into her role as the 9 better. But Alex Morgan, Jenny, she got back-to-back starts in the SheBelives Cup. She played 75 minutes in the semifinal. She played 60 minutes in this final. And to me, she didn't look like she was doing much. How do you rate her performance in the SheBelives Cup?
Not great. Not great. This is where I'm going to go. Which is interesting.
I agree.
Yeah, because I talked on a different podcast that I was on in Spanish about how she has that wow factor that a lot of players don't have yet, right? She has that ability to bring the other generation and that fandom because she has there's something about Alex Morgan. Let me just tell you, everybody pulled their phones out as soon as she's on the pitch. And something about that is important to this U.S. women's national team. And you cannot forego that as we try to grow women's sports. Something about that is incredibly important. But then you look at cutting down this roster for the Olympics, Lisa, and you see that this next generation is just bursting at the seams, right? They want to be there. They want to come out so badly. And I feel like there are things that have to go that allow everything to kind of just start bursting out. And
was Alex Morgan going to the Olympics?
That's an Emma Hayes decision and a Tyler Kilgore decision. I don't know. See, the thing is that I'm not saying that she shouldn't be a part of this group, right? But I think that the ability to turn the page and recognize that our future is maybe more bright, just kind of giving it a clean slate is something to consider, and I don't want anybody to be like, she hates Alex Morgan. Not the case. Not the case. I think she's a great player.
They're gonna do it.
But I do think they're going to do it anyway, right? I do think that this next generation together is what we need to see next.
Yeah.
I think
I don't disagree. Well, I mean, that's a testament to how you opened up the segment, Lisa, where it's like, is it Swanson just bringing that X factor? I think it's all relevant, honestly. I think we all had a lot of praise for Morgan during the Gold Cup. I mean, absolutely seized an opportunity in front of her, right? Because she was not on that roster. Mm-hmm. She got in as a replacement because Mia Fishel went out with an ACL, made the most of that. They lifted that inaugural cup. And so there's a couple of games here now in SheBelieves where I think maybe at best we're talking like an average game for someone who is the most iconic 9 in this program at this point. But I think there's also, again, the things that they're taking away from this SheBelieves Cup, looking at the coaching staff. Are there moments during these couple of games where they should have had that? They should have recognized maybe making a change sooner for her. Why not have an opportunity in one of 2 of these games for Alex Morgan to be the 9 coming off of the bench?
Yeah,
we did not see that in either of these games. So that's a scenario that we still really haven't seen yet in 2024, I think. So there's other things where, it's like I'm just sort of thinking in the back of my head, obviously quick reactions and as I'm playing it back in real time, but just okay isn't going to be okay for the Olympics.
Just okay is not good enough to win gold.
We saw some of that in the World Cup as well. There was those questions where it's why isn't the coaching staff making have the recognition to make those adjustments? It was just again, the whole square peg in the circle hole, just until it fit, and it just never fit. So it's interesting to sort of see this pair of games against Japan, against a team that you played just 35 days ago, and still just kind of see moments of okay play. And it's like you said, Lisa, it's not at some point it's not going to be enough.
Morgan off the bench could be very influential, but we didn't see
we
it.
haven't seen that yet.
Cup, so we don't know what that influence looks like and how she can change a game. And there's a lot of people in our comments right now on YouTube. So thanks for joining us. Drop your thoughts. We do want to hear from them that are saying she's not fast enough and the other players around her are faster. That may be true, but Alex Morgan has to adjust her game then. If you can be a not the fastest forward and still compete. You just have to play a little differently. And she's still trying to play like she is the fastest on the pitch. And that's where I think there's a disconnect between her play right now.
Okay, so that whole time I wasn't ignoring you guys. I was trying to pull up the roster because I couldn't think of it at the top of my head. But if you pull up this roster and you think, okay, obviously we have to go down to what, 15 field players? Am I saying that right, Sandra?
16 field players. There's usually 2 keepers.
16 field players. So how many forwards would you have in that lot? And I'm looking at I'm just going to read them out for everybody that's in the chat now. Catarina Macario, Alex Morgan, Trinity Rodman, Jaden Shaw, Sophia Smith, and Mallory Swanson. Consider that there's 6 forwards in this, and not all of them are going. Who do you cut from that list of players that I just read?
Yeah, of course. And I think with SheBelives Cup, I mean, we only saw 12 minutes of Catarina Macario, this is absolute, again, like, let's stop, pump the brakes on Alex Morgan and even Sophia Smith at this point, someone who scored 3 goals in this game. Catarina Macario can be your 9. Like if in a perfect world where there is a thriving and healthy Macario, right? So I think that's part of it. Part of making those hard decisions and nailing down a roster is actually knowing what's in front of you and what's available. And right now, when it comes to those 5 or 6, Alex Morgan is the one who is playing consistently for club and country, and Catarina Macario is the one who's working her way back.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
A great point. It's a great point. But you also have to have players that can play multiple roles, which we saw Shaw do. We saw Haran do tonight. We saw Soph do, frankly. She played across the line.
Yeah.